Ozzie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. So we've learnt lots about Aboriginal culture. Now today we're going to read a Dreamtime story together. This one is called Tiddalik, the frog who caused a flood. And it's by Robert Roennfeldt. Now this book is an adaptation of an Aboriginal Dreamtime Legend, which means it has a lot of importance in Aboriginal culture. Once, long ago in the dreaming, there was a frog called Tiddalik. Tiddalik was a big frog and his thirst was even bigger. One morning, he went to the nearest river to drink. He drank until there was nothing left but thick black mud. Tiddalik looked around for more water to drink. He drank the water from the billabongs. He drank the water from the lakes. He drank until the last drops of water in the land had disappeared into his vast mouth. He was so fat that he could not move. Burp. He's being a bit greedy, isn't he? Drinking all that water. Now there was no water left for the other animals. In great distress, they called a meeting. See all these other Australian animals sitting around really thirsty and really concerned because there's no water for them to drink and to survive off. What could they do? There was no sign of rain. If all the water in the land stayed inside Tiddalik, they would die of thirst. They needed to figure out how to get the water out of Tiddalik, didn't they? At last, a very wise and very old wombat spoke up. If only we could make Tiddalik laugh. All the stolen water would burst out of his mouth. There's the wise wombat in the middle there. He'll laugh at my stories, said Gulgul Gaga, the kookaburra. He perched on a branch close to Tiddalik's head and told stories which he thought so funny that he kept shouting with laughter at himself. Tiddalik didn't smile. Nothing changed on his wide, mournful face. Look at him in the background there. Kangaroo and emu were next to try. They played leapfrog. Still, Tiddalik didn't laugh. He just sat. The frill-necked lizard strutted to and fro, puffing out his stomach. Tiddalik was almost fast asleep. That was certainly not going to make him laugh, was it? Let me try, said Noyang, the eel, who had come late to the meeting. He slithered in front of Tiddalik. Very slowly and gracefully, Noyang stood upright on his tail. Weaving and swaying, he danced faster and faster. He rolled over and over like a hoop. He twisted and spun like a willy-willy, like a cyclone. He tied himself in a knot. Tiddalik watched in amazement. Then, from deep within him, a rumbling sound grew louder and louder. His mouth opened and Tiddalik laughed. A mighty gush of water swept the animals far and wide, bumbling and tumbling them along creeks and waterholes. Tiddalik had shrunk like a burst balloon. But look, all that water had come back out of Tiddalik and was washing the animals down the creeks and the waterholes and filling them all up again. There was water again for everyone. Tiddalik slunk away and hardly dared to come out again. But isn't that amazing? All that water that was inside Tiddalik had finally come back out and filled all those rivers and the streams and the creeks and waterholes, and all those other animals could finally have a drink again and they could survive. So kids, I hope you learnt lots from that book, and I hope you've learnt lots about Aboriginal culture. We'll see you on our next video, and until then, stay keen. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Ozzie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids, and until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right, stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of